All right. Here I am, another video. Today I actually have a topic this time. Our topic for today is that comparison is the thief of joy. Just a common phrase, but it's something I think about and I want to talk about. So comparison is something that everybody does, everybody's seen. It's with everything, but it's mostly in humans, and compare in the worst, kind is like when people compare themselves, to other people, or something along those lines. But uh, it's really a problem because of the fact that you know as the saying is, uh, when you're constantly comparing yourself to someone else or someone who has more than you can't ever really find like a happiness for what you have or what you can have. But that doesn't mean that all comparison is bad. There are good forms of it. Um, Using it as motivation. Say your boy's in the gym and he can hit 225 on bench, but you can't. You can hit only like 185, right? That comparison is a good thing because it's pushing you to get stronger, to get closer, and maybe even someday pass. But in most situations that's not the case. Most people see it as, oh well, why I should be more like this person, or I need to be better. I need to be better because they're here. And it's gotten a lot worse with apps. I grew up with like all the social media apps, but I've seen in my life that it's gotten a lot worse as apps have grown in popularity and stuff like that, because people will post on these apps, and most of the time what they're putting on there is not you know their real self. Fuck, I never realized how much I say that. But you know back on topic. People tend to not hype themselves up, but make themselves look better on social media to have other people think, oh wow, they're doing really good for themselves, or oh wow, they figured it out. But 9 times out of 10, that's not the case, and they themselves are also comparing themselves to people, and are trying to get other people to believe that they are in a better situation than they actually are. And so that leads, other people like you and me to feel like, oh, well, why can't I do that? Or why can't I be at that level? And the truth is that they're not either. It's an illusion. It's a fraud, you know? And so comparison really does ruin like your not your self image. Well, it can. If somebody's body looks like better than yours, it can ruin what you perceive of yourself. If you before going on so and so app, Instagram, whatever, you know, if you think you look good, and then you go on there, see some bodybuilder or somebody like some influencer who is like been doing this for years, you then think, well, maybe I don't look as good as I thought I did. Or, why do I not look like that? And if you've been putting in the same amount of time, it might be even worse for yourself, because you feel, well, we've been putting in the same amount of work, but on the inside, maybe that influencer has been doing, training harder, or just the fact that maybe they're not even like, it's not even real. Some influencers or like celebrities have like fakes, Drake, some other people have gotten, fake implants, like fake abs. And, that ruins the perception of people. It makes them feel bad for themselves. And, when you're comparing yourself to other people, it really ruins not your, well, kind of your gratefulness and also your happiness for what you have, because you can have, a state like, living wise, say you're in a regular suburban house, you got a lot of, you have everything you could need. But then when you see all these people online with these mansions and all these fancy cars, you're like, well, why can't I have that? Or why don't I have that? When the truth is that you are doing just fine, and a lot of people need to just try to look at what they have before they look at other people. And, even the people at the top, as much as they have, they're most likely also comparing themselves to somebody else. Unless you're the like very, very top, 99% of the time, somebody else or somebody is comparing themselves to someone else. The person that you may think, oh, why can't I be like that, is also thinking that same thing about somebody else. And, comparison doesn't really become a problem until you hit that point where you stop looking at the things that you have. It's okay to like compare yourself and see where I'm at along the line, or like, of like, how far am I to getting to this? It's okay. It's okay to look at it as that, like to say, how much longer or how much more progress do I have until I can reach this? It then becomes a sort of goal. But when you're just saying and looking at it as, well, I'm not there, so I'm not good enough, it becomes a problem, and, because once you're there, it tends to be hard to get out of, because there's so many different ways you can see each other or see other people that might be better in your situation. Like for me, I know that I do it all the time. Ooh, Popo caught somebody. But but I do it too. I am a victim of, self-comparison. And for me, most of the time, it's body image. I see all my friends or all these people online who look better and, better than me, because, I've struggled with being fat. And so it makes it harder to, reflect and see, as you begin to lose weight or something along those lines, you still continue to think, well, I'm not good enough because I'm not where they are. When the fact is that you losing weight, if you've lost so and so pounds, that's really good. That's really impressive. The fact of losing weight in general is impressive. It's not an easy thing to break those habits that got you to where you are. It's not easy. And it's just the fact that people don't look at the good. People naturally, humans are naturally going to look at the bad before the good. It's always the thing, and people even trick themselves into like saying, I'm going to give you the bad news first so that the good news can, linger. And, so people don't tend to look at the good things that they have about themselves, the good characteristics. And, that can be a problem, because it can lead people to, only ever seeing the bad and never being able to see the good, because they're too focused on the insecurities and the problems that they have about themselves, that they then don't even need a comparison. They're just looking at themselves. And yeah, it just, it's a real problem in today's society. Younger kids, especially like teens and stuff. It can drive them to a bad spot. Because teenagers, they lie, not lie, but kind of they'll lie about things that they have to try to make them seem cooler or more popular, when it's sometimes it's not true. Sometimes it may be, and that's okay, but sometimes it's not, and that can become a problem for others, because it can make them feel that like, I'm behind, I'm not where I should be, and that can be a real problem. I think that's all for today, but I'm gonna start making TikTok videos. Oh shit! I'm gonna start making TikTok videos for this account, or for this, like, this YouTube channel, and it's gonna be the same name. It's gonna be King DD, and yeah. Also, if any of the people watching would like to send me topic ideas, I would gladly take them, or even put them in the comments, just because it it's a lot easier when I have like some good listed ones. I tried to find or think of some ones that could be good. This was one of the ones that I was thinking about, and how comparison is the thief of like happiness or joy. It's already a quote, but you know what I mean. Uh, but yeah, so I will. Oh shit. I will continue posting videos. I don't know how often. I'm kind of just going whenever right now. But yeah, I know it's mostly just my friends watching right now. But for now, that's okay. And yeah. So I will catch y'all later. And I am going to leg day. That's going to be fun. But I will see you guys in the next video. All right. Peace.